And now moving to something with a lot more flair, the altissimo playing of Chris Harris. Now, I don't know many people who can get up that high on a trumpet. So, Chris, where does this come from, this high playing?
Well, I started in brass bands when I was very young, and then I joined the New Zealand Army Band, and I was given a recording of a trumpet player by the name of Maynard Ferguson, and that really changed my life. I spent a bit longer in the Army Band and then finished there and went to the Polytech Jazz School, where I practiced jazz, but also I really wanted to be a lead player, the guy who plays all the high notes. From there I went overseas to study, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger from there.
So what sort of technical problems are there to overcome in order to get this high note?
Well, interesting that you should ask that. The upbringing that I had musically as a cornet player in a brass band required a slow, warm airstream, in other words, blowing into the instrument. But as a lead player, it requires the opposite, a very fast, very cold airflow through the instrument to get the high notes. So I had to change some techniques that I had grown up with.
Oh, it shows that there's something interesting going on there, because a trumpet is an unusual thing. You can't see what you're doing in there. And are there any other techniques that you've involved yourself with?
I've concentrated more on the lead playing.
Right.
Of course, there isn't a lot to do in terms of making a living in New Zealand as a lead player. So I also have to play jazz, and I also play classical concerts. Yeah. Every now and then I do a recording in the cathedrals with piccolo, trumpet and organ.
Right. And you've been in a Latin band too, I gather?
Yes, several Latin bands, both here and in the United States.
Well, that's a nice wee segue for us, because we're going straight into a nice samba, Tico Tico.